what is going on? And I think, Fester, you noted this as well. What's going on with all kinds of like car chases and car thefts lately? You know, we had those nut job women. You saw the story where the lady, like, she rammed an FHP cruiser and...
I've been seeing those locally and nationally.
Yeah, and, you know, there have been a bunch in Florida as well. We've had a couple of local stories, and then there have been a series of national stories as well. Now, the one I was referring to is what happened. It started in Lakeland, I think, and that was the story where the FHP, they arrested two because there was a chase and a pursuit through Hillsborough County, and this was it Monday afternoon? I think it was Monday.
In a vehicle you wouldn't expect.
Right. So did it start in Lakeland or? I know what it was. The case was connected to Lakeland. So the FHP, they chased a Nissan Altima. It was on I-4, and that Altima, I guess they thought that it was related to, or there was a bolo, or be on the lookout, and there was a theft case out of Lakeland. And then I guess they noticed this Altima. So after the Altima got off I-4 and then headed north on 75, that's when the troopers tried to pull over the car because they think that it was part of this case out of Lakeland. And when they try to pull the car over, they get off of 75 and they get onto Fowler and they try to go westbound. And then the Altima smashed into another car at Gillette and Fowler. And then the Altima driver didn't stop and just kept going. And then collided with, three other cars?
Jeez.
Yeah, and then those inside the Altima, they fled. Doors open up, they fled. And then I guess they abandoned the Altima and then got into a Dodge Durango. And then the Durango continued, and troopers are fleeing. And then the driver, who turns out to be Gretchen Tolliver, she then rammed the vehicle that they transitioned to into an FHP vehicle and, smashed right into the side of one of their Chargers, which, by the way, you saw that they're discontinuing the Charger and the Challenger in the gas version, at least. I don't know if the FHP is going to go to an electric Charger.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Hey, do you need a charger for a Charger?
I think you would.
If it goes electric?
For sure.
So, anyway, that was the story that happened on Monday right here in the Tampa Bay area. I mean, it's nuts. And then we had a story out of Jacksonville. And here's the one out of Jacksonville. According to the Florida Highway Patrol, a wrong-way driver caused a crash on I-95. This was on Friday night. And then she carjacked a FedEx truck.
Yeah.
And then crashed it in downtown Jacksonville, and then she jumped into the St. Johns River.
Jeez.
What? I don't know what is going on. And then that brings us now to the latest item here.
If you're running from the police, isn't jumping in a river not the best place to be? Aren't you kind of obvious there?
Yeah, I would say that would be a good observation. So now let's come back over closer to us. And there was a carjacking suspect that then led police on a chase in a box truck. Can I point something out? That the box trucks are not the most maneuverable and maybe not the best vehicle to get into a high-speed pursuit in?
Yeah, that's the vehicle when I said the vehicle you wouldn't expect. I don't know that I'd want to take a U-Haul-looking vehicle for a chase.
No, the turns are tough in that.
Yes.
All right, so now we have this carjacking suspect and kidnapping suspect was arrested yesterday. Another car chase, and this time in a box truck. So according to Tampa police, they got a call about a carjacking on is it Enclave?
Sure.
Yeah, Channel 8 says Enclave. So they have it spelled.
It should be Clave.
It's probably Enclave, right? Enclave Village Drive.
Okay.
They have Encalve, Encalve. Anyway, a woman said that she was confronted by a guy that was armed as she tried to get into her vehicle while trying to go to work. And the suspect, who has been identified as Brandon Baker, a 33-year-old, he then ordered the woman to get out of her car. He then drove off in her Nissan Maxima. Luckily, she was not injured. And then the police responded to a 911 call on another street nearby, Ashbury Palms Drive, and that's where cops said that this Baker menace, he then entered a home forcibly and then got in another victim's face, who is an acquaintance of this individual. So what, did he go there to cool off? So then this guy Baker forced the victim out of his home and into the Maxima. The victim was able to escape. Then Baker flees the scene before the cops arrive. Then the Maxima that was carjacked from the lady in her parking lot trying to go to work, that was found. But an hour later, cops said they responded to a report of a stolen box truck on Highwoods Preserve Parkway. And the victim said that he was in the back of the box truck. When he entered the back of the truck, he told officers he saw Baker in the driver's seat, and then he fled in the truck. And then cops then had a pursuit with this. So the FHP tries to pull the vehicle over as it was now in Alachua County.
Yeah, it made it all the way up to the Gainesville area.
Like a 28-foot box truck or 25-foot box truck.
So they have sheriff's deputies from several different counties in this pursuit.
There's like a whole line of cars pursuing this vehicle. Anyway, they try to stop the guy. Tampa police said that Baker then tried to flee on foot. I don't know what's going on, but we have all of these car chases in Florida recently. Yeah, Andrew?
Yeah, is it that the drivers of these box truck delivery services, they tend to leave the keys in?
Well, you leave the keys in, and then they'll open up the back, and then they're in the back of the truck. This guy was in the back of the truck when the truck gets jacked.
All right, let's not fault the drivers of these vehicles as much as we are the illegal activity of these carjackers.
No, absolutely, but don't leave your keys in the car. There was another thing that I had in my pile early this week, and I just didn't get around to it, is there was a story where this person was gassing up at a gas station. It wasn't local. I think it was in Pennsylvania. But it's just another example of do not leave the keys in your car when you're gassing up. And there have been numerous stories and numerous cases regarding this over the years.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
Oh, I hate that.
You leave your car on.
Yeah, I gas up NASCAR style.
That's great. You're a menace. So you increase the chances of a fire hazard. All right, so the story is simple. If you gas up your car, do not leave your keys in the ignition, because there are people that will prey on people that do that, and they'll steal cars while you're gassing up. There have been cases where kids have been in the back seat of the car and the keys are in the ignition. And a lot of times it's when the person gassing up the car will leave the keys in the car and they'll run quickly inside to the convenience store. They'll run into the Quick Stop, the Wawa, the Circle K, the 7-Eleven, the racetrack, the Thorntons. What am I missing?
So many.
All right. So they'll run in and leave the keys in the car. So don't do that. Don't get your car all ripped off.